The duel between two of the coaches that have taken us to the latest AFCON finals proper has ended 1-0 in favor of Sebastian de Sabre's DRC. Of course, Uganda Cranes, they are losing that tune-up game to the game that we are going to have in the same stadium against Algeria in an AFCON qualifier. The question is, are we ready for that duel? DRC looks like they used a second string side. They kept on adding more players, more first choice players, as we kept on changing our tactics. And like we discussed in the halftime analysis, most of the things we expected, the coach did. The question is, were they tactically on spot the way you predicted, Godfrey Mugisha?
I think first of all, I would like to thank you all. Our halftime analysis was quite on the point, if you could observe. Immediately once he made those adjustments from the midfield going up top, you could see the entire second half. We dominated the entire second half. Despite the fact that they had to rest their first team players. Of course, anything can happen in any eventuality, but you could see the kids came on the field. There was that flow, free-flowing playing of football, getting chances in the mix. And you could see we initially had it hard in the first half, but eventually in the second half you could see the ball was busy moving. Each player was getting involved. Even the defenders themselves, they're not kicking away the ball hurriedly because there's a lot of movement in between the midfield, between Waso and Bobos. Initially, Bobos was just sitting back. When Waso came in, there was that connection between two of them. Having played previously in the same team, there was a lot of understanding between the two players and giving more mobility for the players up top. I think our analysis on the first half really paid off, despite the fact that we missed a clear-cut chance by our current captain, but yeah, they gave it all, 100%.
Yeah, I had a question, but time caught us in the first half about the goalkeeper in the first goal that we conceded in the first half. So I'm going to combine it with the question about the goalkeeper, the save in the second half. Was it easier to miss than to score, or was it easier to score than to miss? Or we are talking about a very wonderful save from the DRC goalkeeper, Samson Chile.
Well, it has been a very good display in the second half compared to the first half. And I think if you've been watching the Cranes for the previous games, you can say that at least there's something coming up. They are building up something and they are getting to something. At least there's a way we are moving forward. On the way we play, at least you can't see us losing so many balls. Like in the second half, we didn't lose as many balls as in the first half, giving away to the opponent. We are trying to connect, we are trying to get together, and these boys having played together, some of them from the under team stages. I think there's that connection and they are trying to understand each other. Even without looking, you can know this one needs it here and there. It is really promising, and I think we are on the right track. Then again, talking about the goalkeeper and the save. Unfortunately, I observed that we got the first chance in the last 10 minutes of the first half. And it so happened that still in the last final 10 minutes of the second half, that's when we tend to play some good football and create those chances. If really we could make those minutes more and we expand from 10 to at least 25 or to 30 minutes, when we are really trying to connect and try to create chances and looking for a goal and really focused the way we play, I think it really gives us good. But then, looking at this game, I think the coach came in to pick more lessons than the win. Not all of us really wanted to know or to get a positive result. It would maybe put a cloth behind. It would even obstruct some of the things we needed to see. If we would have won this game, we'd really be joyous over it. But I think the technical team and the boys have taken more lessons than they did. And again, I think if really Kalisa gets such a chance on Sunday, he will be able to put it away, to score it for us, having experienced this. And I know the pain he will have. My neighbor was telling me he will not sleep. But I think he will sleep thinking about it, so that when he gets another chance similar to that, or even a bit even in a tighter angle, he will be able to pull it off.
You said he will sleep. Have you responded that he will sleep? That explains the school of thought we have. Godfrey Mugisha comes from the school of thought of the 90s, and Samson Kiria comes from the school of thoughts of the 2000s, where you would find a player after such a game putting on headsets, beats by Dre and moving away. Yet in the times of Godfrey Mugisha, they will look for the easiest panya out of the stadium to disappear. The reason I brought both of you is you belong to those teams that used to play beautiful football. The KCC of 96 all the way to 98, 99 was a Kawowo team. The Wakiso Giants team you are playing for of recent has been a Kawowo team. The question is, how can Kawowo be transformed into results? Because KCC used to get them. How can it get transformed into results? Because these days fans want you to win in style. But before you learn the style, they still freak out at the results you get. How can the Kawowo quickly be transformed into results, Godfrey?
Ideally, as I did mention earlier in our earlier analysis during halftime, the mentality of the players need to change in the first place. Despite the fact that we are following to the modern game, there should be a unique player. And those players, I think they need to, coach needs to give them that freedom. You say, you know what, go and enjoy the game. Just by the coach giving a liberty player through the Kawowo kind of playing, the player himself said, now it's my honor to create a chance for the team to get a goal, right? It might take time, but I think eventually, as you could see now, despite the fact that we are targeting for the AFCON, there's quite a huge number of upcoming young players. And within those young players, you could see Basangwa.
Yeah.
Right? The few minutes he came in, he gave it all. Right? The other lads who came in, minus Kalisa, you could see each and every kid is an ambitious player. It's just a matter of time before we actually get the actual cream. You could remember back in the days of the Obuas and the Jackson Mayanges.
Yeah.
Before Obua came to his limelight, it took time for him to get there. Yeah. And we should give these young lads time too as well. And then
actually, he had a time where he was second fiddle to Philip Sozi, and then he came and carried the team when Sozi was also still around. So
based on the fact that these kids are getting more opportunities, explore their talent, hey, who knows? Because football is a gradual process, right? And I believe one time Kawowo will get those kind of players we're looking for, as you asserted in the second half.
Samson, you add on to that question to the fact that as the Kawowo is played, there is that opportunity where the ball is lost, like the way Milton lost it, right. And as the goalkeeper, you have to save. What do you actually say? Do you actually say, to be veko, to kubeyo?
No, not really. Obviously, by the time you come to play a game, you train a lot and many days according how you want to play. So for us at Wakiso Giants, really, Coach Ayala has been telling us, play the ball. And whenever you have the ball, what I've realized, there are two kinds of players he insists on. He insists on a playmaker and a creative player. So when you have those two players in a team, the playmaker will be bringing everyone in the game. He will bring everyone in the game. He will make everyone feel the ball. Then the creative player, whenever he has the ball, the strikers and all the attacking forwards will be sure that he is going to look for them, and he has that sharp eye. Needs 2 touches maximum to look for them. So whenever you play the ball to him, these guys make the runs and they look for the positions. They know that every possible route to a goal is where this guy will play the ball. So whenever he gets the ball, they make the runs. They all expect the ball, and he gives to the best suited person. When we were playing this previously concluded season, we are the team that used to create most chances in a game. But still, since we had just started and were building on it, we used to create over 5 chances in a game and would be able to convert 1 or 2. Then we would go back saying, why do we create and we don't convert? That's how it happens. Yeah. That's how it happens. You create. The more you have the ball, obviously, it is automatic. You have to create the chances, because the other guys will get frustrated. They will end up losing shape. They will end up getting angry, and even by doing that, they might even play against the coach's instructions because they don't have the ball. Every player feels comfortable when he has the ball. So by doing that, you'll frustrate them, and you'll end up getting the spaces to play. So that's how we've been doing.
Back in the day, when we were a little younger, we used to see pitches of Cameroon bare with no grass. Today we are in Douala, not actually the capital city, not the best stadium in Cameroon, but it's a fully laid out turf. And I was imagining what the players are feeling, especially coming from a league where you have to play at half volley all the time. Godfrey, If I may ask you, off your head, if you were the coach and you are looking at this game, and probably the ones that are injured might not get a chance, would you have sleepless nights choosing your 11 for the Sunday game?
Of course, to a certain extent. First of all, there's that bit of pressure that we need to win the game. Two, the coach's fault of choice, based on the number of young, talented players on the field. At the same time, the number of senior players that we need on the field, but yet we cannot all field them at the same time. A case, an example, would have seen the first half. If I was in the coach's position, there's no one I've had Okwi and then...
Fahad Bayo?
No. Fahad, with the exception of Bayo, with Mia on the line. Yeah. Because Mia, pace is not his strength. And yet coming from the midfield,
you need pace to come.
You need to pace, and he could easily do that by joining the attackers. So being the fact that coach has a lot of young players coming in the team, and would like also to utilize the fact that we need the senior players, it's going to be kind of a challenge on who's coming on first and who's coming in last. Yes, please.
Samson, we have always had good goalkeepers. From the displays in both halves, would you have sleepless nights choosing your goalkeeper and the back line?
Lukwago came in at halftime, and really it is always challenging for a goalkeeper to come in the middle of the game, like after when it has really, if you don't start a game and you just come in. On a goalkeeper, it really needs you to have serious mental strength to really to recollect yourself and to come in and really to be spot on. He made some good saves as when you had one-on-one, and he tried to also play and manage the game, start the game and try to manage the game. His long balls were, at least you could see they were so close to he was really showing that he's looking out for our men. Unlike in the first half where we would see a ball from the goalkeeper going direct to the other goalkeeper. In this era, it looks bad. Yeah. So choosing a goalkeeper, I don't know, it is really easy for someone who has been in camp who is really not seeing them, because every goalkeeper has something better than the other, and it really depends on what the coach is looking for to bring in.
It's very hard actually to make a starting lineup. I'll ask my friend who is one of the coaches that took Uganda to the AFCON. When we go into the next program, that is going to be on 102.1 Fufar FM, which is Atakuraba. And that coach happens to be Matia Lule. We are going to be talking about the Kayofa project, especially in respect to the fallen hero, Jamil Willie Chambade. We are going out of here, but we are going to leave you with a post-match press conference to hear what the coaches are going to say. Then we'll meet again in our normal programming. Don't forget, the FUFA TV Cup continues tomorrow. But again, don't forget on Sunday, Uganda is going to play against Algeria. Namiriango is going to play against Kira College Butiki tomorrow, so don't miss. It's going to start at around 4 p.m. Stay around for the analysis. We are going to surprise you with another set of old people attached to those schools. This is FUFA TV, the home of Ugandan sport. Don't forget to follow us on the Instagram page where we are giving out a Cranes jersey. Just like that page. And of course, tag 5 people. I'm out of here. Let's join Coach Mitchell in Douala and hear what he has to say.